Ed, in terms of music, there's been a big festival on this weekend, but you've gone
So I'm told. Yeah.
completely the other way, and you're going to tell us what the album, the vinyl, and the playlist of the week is.
Well, I do hope you watched some of the Glastonbury.
I did, and it was
some of the headline stuff was splendid, but there were some other quite surprising turns as well. All respect. I mean, Paul McCartney is a living legend, but the Pet Shop Boys were the performance of the thing. I'm sorry, they just were. Right, album of the week, Regina Spektor. Those of you who read my reviews, my sympathies, but you will note that I quite frequently reference Miss Spektor. She has one of the most distinctive and magnificent voices of the last 20 odd years. It's been a number of years since she's released an album. Home Before and After came out on Friday, and it's very, very good. It ruminates on lockdown and other things that affected us all. She's a great songwriter. She's imaginative. She is able to work to her own strengths. She's a phenomenal musician as well. I really like this album. I think it's clever. I think it's enjoyable. It doesn't just sort of browbeat you into feeling it's worthy. It's a genuinely entertaining thing, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It is on all major streaming services, naturally. And then vinyl release of the month. There's an asterisk next to of the month or of the podcast. If you order this now, you aren't going to see it until much later this year, because the vinyl market is a mess. Lots of things have distorted it. That's a conversation for another time. Nerina Palo has been releasing material for some years now. I Don't Know What I'm Doing, which is a particularly honest album title, I feel. Is 2 weeks old. It was released the Friday before. I think it's a great listen. One of the reasons that this is going to take a bit of a while to turn up on vinyl is that this is being done by the plant that Miss Palo is a fan of. She is actually a keen and regular user of vinyl herself. She cares about these things. This will sound very good on analog because she cares. So I enjoy the album. Again, it's on all major streaming services. But if you are fancying a spot of analog, it comes in a nice green color, and it will be good because the people behind it, it's more than a by the numbers exercise, and it is in relatively limited quantities as well. So get a shift on. So playlist, I went to Deezer because I always do Qobuz or Tidal. Deezer have an acid jazz podcast playlist. Now I want to warn you, trigger warning, it's got a picture of Jamiroquai on it, which can't be helped, but there's lots of things that aren't Jamiroquai on it. Acid jazz is a guilty pleasure thing for me, but there are some absolute bangers on that. I really enjoyed it. It's well worth a listen. If you want the link, I can drop it out of Deezer and have it available, so you can then insert it into the streaming service of your choice. But yeah, it passes 3 hours and 54 minutes in a thoroughly enjoyable and thoroughly groovy way. So those are my recommendations for the podcast.